Good morning, good afternoon, good night. My name is Justin, cool imp in a whole host of names, and I just got out of the shower. So where are we? We need to talk to Clay. Yep.
Smooth operator. Glad you're here, because I could use a hand. See, I used to run with a smuggler through Hong Kong. I called him. Find the key fragment. They did. Infiltrated the COV and went deep undercover. So deep
Ugh.
we couldn't hold those bastards. So I need you to track them down. Here.
Good hair wash.
We call that the rogue site. Guess what it is?
Steals memories? I mean, who would want that?
Rogue site can do it all, baby. Leave secret messages, hide loot, mark POIs, lay traps. Every smuggler in the rogues uses one. And now you got one. Like I said, the rogues were running counter ops against the COV while looking for the fragment. With that rogue site, you can track them down. I hid some loot nearby. Go on, give the rogue site a whirl. Just look through the scope.
Which is something we don't have to do, so I'm not going to do it.
Ursicor time!
Come on, everybody.
The COV has the Amber Mire on lockdown, but my crew built a secret entrance in. Use the rogue site to find it. Keep shooting those marks, Vault Hunter. All right, next stop, the Amber Mire.
I only drink the most refined chocolate milks. I actually really do like chocolate milk. Okay.
Welcome to the Amber Mire. Back in the day, some Jacobs, whose name I don't remember, lined the swamp with oil rigs. But now, it's just an oily graveyard. Anyway, the rogue
You can actually see what level most people are going to be when they casually play and get to this point. A lot of the big catches, what people do is they stop and they kill absolutely everything. But a good build counteracts all of that. Okay. Movement speed, gun damage. We're going to mix that up a little bit. But you can see I'm only level 24. All of these creatures are level 26. And what you're not seeing is that the build has a huge impact. Compared to other Borderlands games, I think build has more of an impact. And I know there's probably some experts out there who'll go, actually, I don't care. Based on what I've seen, you can do a lot with the build. It has only partly to do with the weapon, but with the right build, you can make something that shouldn't work, work. Air breathers? I don't remember that one. Run faster, shoot faster. You frosty, son? You frosty?
Body count!
Base should be close now. And yup, you guessed it. You can use the rogue site to find it.
Here they come. Way to maul 'em!
All right.
There we go.
Head on in and find Archimedes.
You don't actually need the rogue site. Road site.
Damn, it's dark. See if you can get the lights on. Archimedes, where the hell are you, man?
Someone threw a blood orgy, and everyone was invited.
Damn, that's Cassie. Best smuggler in the rogues. At least she was. Forget his name. But guess it don't matter now. They gonna put the candy back in that pinata. Grab a security ID, Vault Hunter. We might need it. Alright. We should check the security console.
Delicious.
Let's take a look.
When's Archimedes coming back? Said to hunker down. Extraction ain't happening today. Maybe tomorrow. How long does he think we can keep this fragment hidden? Swamp's crawling with COV. Hey, what the hell? How'd they find us?
Someone got the drop on my rogues and took the fragment. But I ain't no detective. Good thing I've got something pretty damn close. Get that button over there. See, from time to time, a
All right.
smuggler needs to
Be
drop
right back. I need to put the glass in the sink and wash it real quick.
Designed it myself.
Because milk is a bitch to get out once it settles.
Across the entire planet. But in this case, we're gonna track down that fragment and the traitor who stole it. Damn, forgot about that. See, every rogue has a security ID, like the one you picked up from that bloody mess that was my man Archimedes. Looks like whoever killed my rogues was smart enough to take the rest of their IDs. Good thing I still got a few live agents in the field. You'll need to get their IDs before we can activate the loot tracker. Let's start with Agent D. He's the closest. Make contact with D while I alert the others on a secure line and tell them you're coming.
Butterflies in the sky.
Agent D
I
is
can
a
go
master
twice
of
as high.
disguise and tracks,
Take a look. It's in my book. The Reading Rainbows.
which is more useful in this galaxy than you might think. You'll see.
I
Agent D's been
can
running
go anywhere.
got them COVs hypnotized. Until you signal D to break cover, those bandits won't lift a finger. Figures. Dumb bandits fell for Tyrene because no one else here loved them or looked at them. But that ain't a reason to burn down the galaxy.
Normally by now I'm already at her. At Double D. Ooh. We got something. Devil's Foursome? I think I remember some people trying to make a build work for it way back when the game first released. But I could never get it to work for anything for my gameplay style, so I never worried about it. I never bothered with it. There's a lot of weapons that are like that. They're kind of neat, and if you focus a build around them, you can do really well.
All right, Cub, my turn.
But it's not going to be anything that's going to be spectacular or that's going to be mind-blowing about them. I can go anywhere.
Motor relief. Agent D is alive and up to his tricks. When you're ready to break D's cover, shoot that mark with the rogue sight.
But I can't see the mark. Whatever shall I do? Oh, some of the insults.
Die, you dumb bastards! Let's get these inbred chokers!
As you can tell, I have very much played this game a time or two.
You're gonna die.
Now let me, slip into something more comfortable.
Now, to point out, we've never seen a Goliath reverse their condition.
And you need my ID? All yours, babe. Whoever the traitor is,
head drop and see what he's been up to. Still can't believe one of my rogues went rogue, but
Guess this is the name.
name.
Language, right? That one's on me.
My bad.
You might want to run.
I did not mean to summon Iron Cut, but that's okay.
About the rogues, Clay. See, I infiltrated an offshoot of the Reekwater gang called the Mudnicks. Turns out Aurelia Hammerlock offered one of the rogues the Eden 7 system in exchange for a key fragment. Who knows who yet? If you don't hear from me, buddy, then assume the worst. I'm either dead or captured. But come find me anyway. I'd do it.
And what is it? The Sidorak. Okay, Sidorak is one of those very interesting ones. It's a misspelling of the way that it is in Marvel Comics. But you can see it's a very nice depleted shield. But yeah.
Guess they couldn't have it.
And I actually don't mind putting in a little bit extra and killing everything right now so I can get the extra levels.
But it's a trap. Get ready to. Quiet foot. Oh man. Quick, find some cover. That traitor used quiet foot as a trap to kill you.
Hi. There's a grenade there. Ooh.
Damn it! The hell, that traitor's gonna pay. Look around where Quiet Foot used to be. His ID should still be there. Those things are indestructible. Wish I could say the same for my crew. All right, we just need one more ID. Well, time to head to the docks and find my buddy Domino. Best sharpshooter in the Edens and polite as pie. It's his thing. Hope Domino's alive. Not many roads left.
Definitely, I'm gonna be able to finish up Eden 6. Tomorrow, I'm debating on an at-work stream.
I'm in a secure location overlooking a dock full of CLB. Need some help clearing them out.
Hopefully, it's not gonna be a busy day tomorrow. The team that I work for, our work is kind of based on how the call center is doing. If they are not so voluminous, we don't have a lot to do. Just observe and report, basically.
Covered. Good luck.
I like those days, to be honest. Oh, dude, Lizard King guy. That guy is hilarious on TikTok. There's a guy who does TikTok skits based off of customer service, specifically like IT customer service. And I want to add, I've never done external customers when it comes to that. I've only done internal customers. I've only done internal customers with Force the Coral, even. And even then, you had some people that wanted to be snappy with you.
Dropship incoming. Please find some cover.
And it's like, looky here. You're calling me, and you've just admitted to me that you don't know what's going on. So it's easier to answer my fucking question, and I've always wanted to say this. It's easier to answer my fucking question than to antagonize me. Because I can escalate that ticket up, take a hit with my management team, which they still would go, oh, you just had an accident. Well, we'll get someone to reach back out them for you. Like, that's how good I was at my job, where I could make a mistake like that and no one would care. But I'm one of those folks who also firmly believes in the concept and ideas of a purge protocol. And if I ever run a business, I will run with purge protocols. Purge protocols are my way of saying we do not deal with Karens and Kevins.
Don't look down. It'll only make you crap yourself.
So if you run up into my business trying to yell at me for something stupid, we're going to have some fun with you.
Or something. Thanks again. I hate these sickos and you're a real help.
Get over here, dickweed.
And I will operate under purge protocols. But that's one of those things, I'll probably never actually run the type of business I want. They aren't very profitable without like a dedicated fan base following you. And, well, fan base is the wrong word. Without a like really dedicated customer base is a better way to phrase it. I like a lot of role-playing stuff. Tabletop role-playing. I like role-playing games, like video games. But I also like playing things like Warhammer. I am one of those people that I actually have the majority of my minis painted.
Now back to Rogue's Hollow. It's time to activate the loot tracker.
Which is kind of to be honest, a rare thing amongst Warhammer gamers.
Lead us straight to the fragment and the trailer.
And,
Gotta say,
because of that,
thought I'd be using the loot tracker no time
I think it would be really interesting
about loyalty.
to be able to run a store like that, where you get those options to
The most sophisticated tracker
run a store like that.
drones,
But I'm one of those folks, I don't, if I'm running my own business, to be specific, I'm not dealing with someone coming up in my business and saying, well, you owe me a refund.
Traffic monkey.
This book had something in it that I didn't want my kid to read.
You wanna find something?
Okay, you bought it for him?
Fast as hell.
Yeah, that's your book.
Like a blood.
You can do with what you want with it.
That little bastard so it doesn't crap everywhere.
If you want to burn it, burn it. Although I disagree with that whole philosophy.
Jabber.
Yeah, that's going to be my dumb ass.
Ado. That's the word. Without further
A dude.
learned that from a guy I killed. Real egghead. Hold the book and everything. You know, despite being betrayed by one of my own, it feels good to be back in jail. Even precarious. That's a fancy word alert from that nerd I killed.
And I'm still like 2 levels below. What is that? Increased gun game?
Maybe should have chatted him up a little more before I almost did.
But, yeah.
Killer cub cutting loose.
I would literally operate under purge protocols.
For the planet. Just saying.
Big sign. All conversations in this building are recorded and for both visual and audio.
What killed my little brother but me?
You act like an ass, you're going to be removed. Period.
Another one?
Well, they won't let them. That D&D group won't let my son play with them. Yeah, and? Well, you should make them let them play. No. Their group, not mine. Like, so, here's the funny thing about this. You can ask my wife if she ever wanted to be on camera or even be heard on the thing. I actually began writing out a proper business plan for opening up my own store. It had a couple of features that, if you're familiar with the TikToker that does Gamers Heaven, who owns the Gamers Heaven store, it would have looked something like that. Probably a little bit more focused on Warhammer, like tabletop gaming for like war games. And but yeah, the same basic thing. My new, if I ever had the money for it, because I wouldn't want to go into debt for it. The new idea would be very similar, but I'd have like 4 private rooms and all the rooms are monitored.
Proud of you, man. You did it. Vault Hunter,
Kill that traitor son of a bitch.
You'll see about that, Clay. I've got a new family now, and a new shine. Like the true Calypso.
Hi.
Children of the vault, baby.
damn, one of those anointed freaks. Show him what happens to traitors, Vault Hunter.
I still see you.
Me and Archimedes worked together for years. Sad to say goodbye,
But they're recorded not so I can like watch other people's games, but
Fragment acquired.
I heard.
as a new
I was never privy to it myself. At least not in any of the games that I've participated or in any of the stores that I know about that I've been at. But I heard sometimes in private rooms shit goes down. And I'm one of those people. I think that whole judging a game for its content, broadly speaking, is a bad idea. And I'm talking about role-playing games here. However, there's a few things that you should always avoid. Any type of sexual assault or rape or anything like that should never, ever be included in a role-playing game. I have seen one instance where even though it made sense, it's still something that was a bad idea. So it's not that it even made sense narratively. And no one around the table was like offended by it. But it was one of those things that yeah, I've only seen like one case of it where it was, let's say, marginally okay. But even then, it's still something, if you can avoid it, you should always avoid it. With that said, of course, there's a lot more to it. My goal, if I ever ran a store, would essentially have where people felt comfortable there. I don't want to call it a safe space because that term is dirty to me. But I wouldn't mind a welcoming place. So if some people are playing a game and someone hears some content they don't like, they can right the fuck off. But if one of the games is going too far and the players are clearly uncomfortable with it, then absolutely 110% you kick them out. That's the basic idea. And it's something I put a lot of thought into. You see all these RPG horror stories, and it's like, it kind of gets into your brain about how some people behave. And I'm very, very much against that type of mentality where you just let anything go.
Fire in my breast and a gun in my
Oh.
We're gonna take back the last key fragment, and I figured out where it is. The Jacob's Power Cellar.
I don't want it.
Powder cellar.
It's non-elemental. I don't want it.
Cascade is our signature
gunpowder. My father must have hit
Like, no joke. That's a conference call, and I don't want it.
the secret way to get in. Go and meet up with him.
It'll be the only time you ever really see me, like, go, I don't want a conference call.
Alistair and I will slip past the Harpy's cellar guard. Tonight, we take back Jacobs.
Yeah, what's going to happen is for this stream, I'm going to finish up Grave Ward, and then that'll be it. I should have enough time to do that before the end of the night. I don't like to be bound by a time frame because I'm not going to go to sleep for another 2 hours. But if I can avoid staying up later than I have to.
Follow my lead. Montgomery Jacobs showed me this little sign.
Back in my smuck.
Let's see. 20 heavies, okay. Ooh. 250 people with heavy weapons.
He was a great man, and I owe it to him to see that the Jacobs Corporation gets back in Jacobs' hands. Wainwright will make a damn fine head of the company, assuming any of us make it out of this alive. Let's get
But
on.
yeah, I've always thought about that. Like running my own game store would be like one of my dream things to do. So I skipped past it because I got lost in thought there. So I sit down and I actually start working out what would be required to open up a game store that had
Behind a waterfall.
high-end game systems so people could play there, like run LAN parties. How much it would cost to have enough gaming tables for a tournament for Warhammer 40k or Field of Fire or whatever it's called, Flames of War or whatever. Getting some private rooms built with some decent equipment so you can like build ambiance and make it worth spending money on a private room. And when all was said and done, I had the basics ran out. I hadn't like done any projections like for actual money.
Ursicor never dies.
But no joke.
They couldn't hack it.
Someone opened up that store. They opened up it. They opened it up with everything minus the computers. And I'll admit, the computer end of it is kind of a dead end. Just being honest, as much as I would love to be able to have it with the computers, it's not. Those aren't going to pull in a lot of money. I could probably ask Gamer Heaven how much he makes off of those, but I think his gaming stations are all free to use, rather than paid for. But yeah, the whole idea was it to be a place where like a lot of different types of games can be done. A gaming pilgrimage, I guess, a sacred place for gamers to come to. In the end, what ended up happening is someone else opened up a similar store idea, and as much as I wanted to still do it, having more than one store in town, I thought wouldn't work out, and then people started opening up their own stores as well, and I felt silly for not doing it. But I had like zero seed money and nothing really to put forth to like open it up properly. And unfortunately, a lot of wargamers, they're kind of hardcore with their store of choice.
Hurry up and refuel. We got asses to kick.
And I'm just enough of an asshole that I'd probably chase away a great deal of people unless I had my own level of freedom.
Winnie, you didn't tell me we needed to solve an elaborate puzzle. Nonsense. An elaborate puzzle is its own reward.
I don't need to charge you
All
tonight.
you have to do is push the request button by that delivery pipe and open the tube near you. We'll solve this puzzle over on our end. Let's see. That's this lever here. Crank back there's the tube here. Winnie, hurry up. Set the dial to cupcake. Pull the silver chain. And here it comes, Vault Hunter.
Nope.
Damnation. Alistair, look around for clues. I found a stuffed fish with a code on it. That'll be the answer. Alistair, read me the clues and I'll solve it. I'm hardly in the mood to... fine, here. Eagle, crab, 7, Windigo. This is the fun part, Alistair. Try and enjoy it. There, the code's in. Tell her to hit the request button. This time for sure.
This joke is so funny.
Super nope.
Hells, bells, the fish was a red herring. Watch out for more zealots, Vault Hunter.
Okay, that joke is definitely a writer's joke, or people who like mysteries. A red herring is an obvious trap. So, You know how in Scooby-Doo you always have the menacing person who seems to be out to no good, and they're never the actual criminal. It's always somebody else. That's a red herring. A pup named Scooby-Doo went as far as having a constant joke where one of the characters' name was Red Herring, and he was never the problem. It was always someone else. And so when I first heard that joke, and I'm like, they're really not going to do this, are they? They literally put a red herring in as a joke. So I was always kind of, that joke is hilarious to me. I know not everyone thinks it's as funny as I do, but I find it to be absolutely hilarious. What's up, Scooby-Doo? Coming after you.
God damn it, Alistair, my father's dead, my company is in the hands of bandits, and I'm trading away my inheritance because I had to save your life. If I have to enjoy myself while solving the last puzzle my father left for me, I damn well shall. You are right, I'm sorry. So in that case, I should not point out the code written on the ceiling. What? Oh, damn. Blue lever, white button, brass chain. Alistair, you beautiful bastard. This is it. Ball Hunter, press the button.
Got the Grand Reserve.
Ha ha, what'd I tell you? Easy as pie. Key fragment should be right inside. A team success is what that is. Now we can open the vault. Come meet me and Alistair near the gardens. I'll open up the way for you. Just follow the conveyor system out of that room.
What's up, Scooby-Doo?
You're on your
What's
way.
going on with
That'll
you?
take you to the distillery room. You're coming up on it now.
We're gonna
This
solve
wing of
a
the house has
mystery.
been poorly tended to since even before the Harpy got her frigid claws on it. My father considered groundskeepers to be a useless frivolity, like lullabies or birthday parties, when all I wanted was a damn clown who could tie balloon animals. Sorry, tamping that one back down now.
I'm just killing time till it refreshes right now.
Nearly done it. Ha! I wish I could see the look on that Harpy's face when she finds out.
Granted.
Hands above your head, please.
Vault Hunter, hurry! We've been found!
Aurelia, as your brother, I implore you to stop this.
Aurelia. Come on, I almost got you down. We don't have a lot left for this section.
That's what code feels like.
Alistair, are you all right? Me? What about you? You were shot just... Thank you, Vault Hunter, for giving her every chance and humoring a blinded fool of a brother.
You two gonna live? You got a little
survive.
Trip back to the launch. It's up to you to finish the task, Vault Hunter. Right, the vault. To reveal the entrance, you'll have to solve some light statue-based riddles out in the gardens.
Can't you just tell me the answers?
I do apologize. Are you hearing this, Alistair? The Vault Hunter's lost all whimsical intrigue.
Forgive when he gets cranky when he's been shot.
Okay.
Try, so
I make this joke every single time. I don't think it's a joke. How often is he getting shot where you know what he's like when he gets shot?
Singleton got held up, and all he cared to do was inspect the bore of the robber's rifle. That is, until the robber shot him in the face. Head to the menagerie next. This menagerie was installed by my great-uncle Maddox. Maddox didn't trust a soul. The man preferred having bars between him and the rest of the world. He once mentioned his spaghetti on the suspicion that his cook was short-noodling him.
Yeah. Since I'm not building an explosive build.
Yep, old Maddox spent so much time looking out the window, he never noticed that his butler was plotting his demise. Gothic drama. The final riddle is in the greenhouse.
Iron Cub wants to play. And you're done.
By the way, I just want to point out how under-leveled I am in comparison to all the enemies around me, and that even now the burning jabbers are falling. 2 flame weapons. This game has so much to do with build. Yeah, the Lucian's Call is a fantastic rifle. And I believe most people would probably put it in their top 5s. However, it's more than that. The weapon itself contributes, but what's building it up is all the fire boost that I'm giving it because I want to be powerful. That's one of the things I absolutely love about the Borderlands games is you never feel, unless you're playing like on the higher difficulties, you don't feel weak. The station.
An innovator till the end, my grandpappy was. See, you sniffed all those riddles out like a saurian in heat. Head back to the terrace. There'll be a switch to reveal the entrance to the vault. See, Winnie? The Vault Hunter enjoys solving elaborate puzzles as much as you do. Yes, I do suppose the heart of an adventure
Where?
beats within you, Vault Hunter.
See, I don't think Gearbox expected anyone to actually look down at the geometry below that little pedestal.
I'll eat it.
Just saying. They don't look incorporeal coming up. It looks like a series of objects just clipping through the geometry of the map.
Good, you made it. The fragment, Vault Hunter. We haven't much time. Forgive me. It's a thing I heard someone say. Try it. Anyway, there's no time for parlor tricks. I will assemble the vault key.
Ooh, big boom blaster. But, see, it actually has an absorb on this one. But notice the difference in the absorption rate. As it will probably be self-evident.
Take care of the vault monster. Then we will eradicate it before the
Now,
Crusoes arrive.
I am going to stop and grind here once we get done with this area.
Enormous
The reason why is this is literally some of the after this, for the most part, you could probably keep going without much issue. However, there is significantly a difference to be had about how easy the game gets if you get up to that level 30 beforehand.
Well, ask for a monster, get a monster.
And look at this. Take a strong consideration about the level I am and what I'm doing.
Well done, Vault Hunter. Now, I've been working on some experimental technology that should allow us to neutralize the Vault monster.
Rendering it useless to the Calypsos.
Ooh.
Breathe, Tannis. You can do this. Let's give it a try.
Another what the
Stand
fuck?
back. As I said, experimental tech. Yes, it's working. I hope.
Tannis, you all right?
Just a little more. Ah, excellent, it worked. I told Lilith it would. Sir Hammerlock once told me that when hunting a beast, it's best to deny its sustenance. Starving creatures make mistakes. Now Tyrene Calypso will be unable to derive power from the Vault monster.
What the actual dick? Did you just kill the Vault monster for real? Come on! Now there's no point in any of this! I'm so hungry! I guess I'll... I don't know, leech a pile of tinks? They're like popcorn shrimp, but more... screamy.
You guys really suck. You know that? Totally uncalled for.
It still counts as an object in the game.
Into the vault to collect your loot. Meanwhile, I will examine the Iridian technology out here.
Just a small thing to notice. Let's Scooby-Doo's. And this is where we get the ability to wear artifacts. One of the artifacts you're going to see me pick up is the Ineffable Knowledge.
This vault is indeed connected to the Promethea vault you opened, as well as Pandora, and a fourth vault symbol I do not recognize. Could Tyrene
Ooh,
Calypso be telling the
what do
truth
we
about
have
the Great
here?
Vault? I am concerned. Come out and we will return to Sanctuary
Another
together.
standard.
Lilith will want to hear about this.
Why can't I get an elemental conference call in this game? What's up, Scuba Doos?
Vault Hunter, we should probably discuss.
These like out of nowhere!
Smart thing to do.
Now, Ty, do it, do it, do it!
Calypso's just took Tanis.
No. Damn it. Vault Hunter, I need you back on Sanctuary now.
Well, that's some scuba dudes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. We're going to talk to Lilith again. That is going to let us carry on the story. We're going to have a whole cutscene with, what's his face? With Vaughn. And then we're going to head down to Vaughn. And after that, that's where the story continues to pick up. But we're not going there. What we're going to do, we're actually going to head back to Grave Ward. I am significantly underleveled, and although this game isn't nearly as bad as the other games are, it does have damage reduction that occurs. It's nowhere near as severe as like 1. Like 1, you're at 4 levels, you're doing something like 50% to 25 to 70 25% of your normal damage. Okay.
Should have seen it coming. This is exactly what I was afraid of.
Yeah, but here's the catch. You know what they can do? So they've just proven, and this is where you get me like all types of fucked up. They've just proven they can essentially jack anyone from anywhere by locking them in a place and bamfing them out of there. And they don't do it. Now, we the players who have beaten the game, played through Borderlands 2 Fight for Sanctuary, we know that it takes a toll on Lilith to do that. That it's not something she can just do willy-nilly. But you know where your opposition leader is.
Kidnapped your scientist. You want to see her alive. It's not gonna happen. Yeah.
So the whole catch becomes they have not utilized their ability. Now, Tyreen can literally absorb people. Why isn't she absorbing people left and right and just bamfing people around?
So we need a crap ton of iridium to charge it. You know what that means? Let's drive! And since our followers go apeshit every time we maim or murder one of you, we put the next one up to a max.
Would you believe it? Weird Scientist was our most requested murder. Beat out annoying robot by just a bit.
Speaking of murder, Carnivore is getting hungry. Show's starting soon, and it's gonna be a killer.
We head down to the droughts first. There's a reason we have to head down to the droughts first. There is a cutscene that happens here. Ain't no rest for the wicked till we close our eyes for good. Now, since we can easily take down Grave Ward, the reason we want to farm him till we get to about level 28 to 29, maybe even 30, depending on how long I feel like grinding him. What happens is, you end up having a situation where you can actually get to the proper level that you're supposed to be. I really am underleveled for everything I've done. I just really know how to play this one well enough, build right. Like, there's no reason I should be able to take down some of those fire critters with just pure fire. That should not be a thing. I really should have to put more effort into it. I should be switching weapons and bouncing around ideas. I should not be able to go, okay, I feel like doing this, it's done. Grave Ward's still dead. Nope, cool. I can farm. I don't know. Am I hitting his weak spot? Oh, wow. Okay. Alrighty, that's been a while. Like, no joke, I do not remember the last time I went down to Grave Ward. Hot as power. It's an assault rifle, which means I'm not going to be using it. But I will pick it up just because it dropped. Okay, I thought you were talking to me. Grave Ward is actually a really good place for experience, and that's the reason a lot of people who do this will use him as a early grind. Especially if you come to him 4 levels under level. Till we close our eyes for good. And basically what I'm saving myself is a whole bunch of problems with Troy. And a lob! A fire lob! Ooh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, lobs are one of those firearms in this game that are just ridiculous. I'm still upset that they took it from a burst fire weapon and made it only a single fire. But you know what? I can live with that. The lob is a shotgun that is utterly devastating. And I'm talking, there's not a lot of creatures. So whenever I get to the segment with Carnivora, you're going to see me shoot that off and then just like walk away. And I know all you hear is that pinging noise. Another lob, but not a fire lob. Cause there ain't no rest for the wicked till we close our eyes for good. Oh. The game is just setting me up to breeze through the rest of the content. I'm not at the point of one cycling yet, but I can still hold down that trigger. What was this one? Yeah, okay. But like seriously, a fire lob? Like for real, a fire lob. Like so whenever I do these, I typically don't have any idea what I want to run. Ooh, what are you? Phalanx. I dislike that one. I kind of said I pulled up the skill calculator. I'm like, what do I want to do this year? Like, grenade mows is just. I don't want to call it easy mode outright. But let's be honest. Grenade modes is kind of easy mode. So I'm like, so what can I do? And I start looking around the skill trees. And I saw something I don't see a lot of people run. And that is, fire modes. Like, it was an idea that I think even I put forward way back when the game was first coming out. About how you can build up these really badass, fire damage for Moes throughout the game. I may not have actually ever done anything with it, but... Oh, damn. I just got raw experience. Okay, that's cool. What do we get? Two legendaries. And a new sleeping giant. There is not going to be content I cannot simply smash through once I hit 29. Or, yeah, once I hit 29, That's what I'm gonna call it. But there's not gonna be a single piece of content now I can't just break over my knee. Like the fire lob alone.
Deploying the code.
And this is where a pearl of ineffable knowledge would actually come in really handy right about now. Because I would be doing something like, another 100, 200% damage. But yeah, this is simply amazing.
Show 'em what we got.
Now, what would be really nice for this... Oh, I need to make sure I summon it after he tilts. Is, if I could actually inflict status damage on him.
Serving up fresh hot deck.
And I think I have 2 more grinds before he's done for the night. I heard at least. Drop to the ground. We got a red card. And a face puncher. I'm not doing a melee build. Although it is very possible with modes to do a melee build. Yeah, my biggest goal is... So, I'm here to enjoy the content. Like the actual gameplay. I remember whenever the game was coming out, Randy Pitchford, whenever he was, well, pitching the game, he would talk about the moment-to-moment gameplay. How it feels fun and exciting and it's energetic and all these other nice little buzzwords to describe the game itself. And you know what? He's absolutely right. The moment-to-moment gameplay is amazing in Borderlands 3. Especially compared to Borderlands 2 and 1, where you had some of these areas that were wide open. And you would have these long, long moments without gameplay. Meanwhile, in 3, you have a lot of areas where you just got things going. And it makes the game feel that much more exciting. Now, granted, I might be a bit overbuilt for this. Maybe 2 more. I definitely It might be one more, but probably two. He used to be so... So, week 1 of this game, people were already doing 100% runs, getting their characters up to max level, rocking that mayhem up as high as they could go, because they found many ways to break the game. So, there was a grenade called, and it's still in the game, but it's just not as broken. The porcelain piss pot or something like that. Really fun little grenade. If you land the grenade, because he actually, that piece that you see me hitting the most on his chest, there is actual space between that and the rest of the body on Grave Ward. You could land a grenade there, and whenever you did that, it would bounce back and forth between the main body and his weak point over and over and over again. And you would throw a single grenade and kill Grave Ward. So leveling up those early characters was so easy. I mean, I didn't even do that. I had a Kielbasa, which on my flag. Now the Kielbasa is an interesting who makes it? Torg is an interesting Torg weapon. Yes. Okay. Now, the catch with the Kielbasa is it had a high pellet count and low magazine. So you would get off 2 shots with the Kielbasa, and that would be it for the Kielbasa for it to do it. But in those early days, Vor and that weapon, you were constantly getting your ammo back. They had to change one of the talents to reduce it down to where it didn't proc, it could proc back to back to back to back. And I just sit there pumping it out. When I finally reloaded the weapon, I would one shot Grave Ward. Oh, before I do that, I want to load up on all my new equipment. So I would save myself. I would just sit there, load them up. And then all of a sudden, I've got a ton of just, I've killed yous. So let's see. We don't want a hottest power. We're not doing a face puncher because we're doing the type of build we're doing. Let's see. We're going to swap that out for the lob. So I want to have one weapon that's not fire. See? It's going to burn them down. But with that said, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time of day it is for you. Look for me tomorrow streaming sometime, probably 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I hope to see you guys then. Other than that, may joy be to every last one of you.